Whether it's a casual announcement or a specialized media solution for your business, we are here to serve you. KBC at Huduma Centers, moving closer to you. Your station, your service.
The government is setting up 23 isolation and treatment centers as preparation against Ebola in the country.
And also tonight in our interactive session, we are looking at SDG 6. Just how much ground have we gained as we move towards that goal in 2030? Live in studio, we are hosting Engineer Daniel Nganga, who's the Managing Director of Mowasco, that's Moranga Water and Sanitation Company.
And it is the day of the African child, and it is also Tuesday. Every Tuesday we dot your screens with African wear, appreciating our African culture and heritage, and today is no different.
That's right, all that coming up. But first, let's take a look at the global summary of our top stories tonight.
The bodies of 4 men are exhumed from a mass grave in Mwingi.
While we respect the ruling of the High Court, we totally and fundamentally disagree.
Rigathi Gachagua to appeal against High Court ruling that upheld his impeachment as Deputy President.
Plus,
school unrest.
Education PS Professor Julius Bitok is transferred to the Ministry of Tourism.
From wherever you're watching us in Kenya and around the world, a warm welcome. I am Mboya.
I am Muchuma Odim. Our sign language expert tonight is Caroline Njoroge.
Now, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is tonight rejecting the ruling of the High Court that upheld his impeachment.
Gachagua says the 3-judge bench contradicted its own ruling by finding that his rights to fair trial was violated.
The DCP leader now says that he will appeal the ruling at the Court of Appeal, vowing to extend the battle to the Supreme Court should the appellate court not grant his wish.
A day after the 3-judge bench of the High Court struck out Gachagua's petition and upheld his removal from office through impeachment, Gachagua has expressed his displeasure.
While we respect the ruling of the High Court, we totally and fundamentally disagree with the interpretation of the law and application of facts. The long-standing legal principle of natural justice and the right to a fair hearing has been trashed and ignored in broad daylight.
Gachagua laughed off the 50 million awarded by the court to compensate violation of his right to fair trial.
The 50 million Kenya shillings awarded to me is an insult to my fundamental rights and freedoms and a mockery of the Constitution. We are not interested. Money was never the issue here. Justice and constitutional supremacy was.
He wondered how the 3 judges would establish that his rights to fair trial were violated by the Senate, yet upheld his impeachment.
We strongly observe that the impeachment process was found faulty by the 3-judge bench for failure to respect my right to fair hearing in the violation of Article 25, 47, and 50 of the Constitution. Once that determination was made, the entire process collapsed and was null and void.
Vowing to appeal the ruling, the displeased Gachagua told off his critics, saying he was still eligible for elective office. He, however, disclosed that he'll take a 45-day off from the public space to engage with stakeholders and the united opposition figures to determine the opposition's presidential flag bearer.
I'll be Noah Munyoro, doing very, very serious, extensive consultations. And I'll do whatever it takes to mobilize my colleagues, to persuade them, to make it possible to have one single presidential candidate.
Giverson Minor, Prime Edition.
Talk to us on all our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1 on X, Facebook and YouTube. Staying with the ruling, a twin legal battle is confronting the Court of Appeal following the High Court ruling that upheld the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua as Deputy President.
Now, besides a notice of appeal filed by Gachagua, the Senate is also challenging the 50 million shilling that was awarded to Gachagua for what the judges termed as a violation of his right to fair hearing.
And as Ruth Mboya reports, legal pundits opine that the award confirms the process was fundamentally flawed.
This was a 10-hour decision by the three-judge bench of the High Court on Monday night that maintained Gachagua's impeachment.
The prayer seeking to quash the resolution of the Senate to impeach His Excellency Gachagua is hereby declined.
The Senate extinguished an entire constitutional hearing stage guaranteed to the Deputy President, thus violating the non-derogable right to a fair hearing.
Dissatisfied with the decision, Gachagua has moved to the Court of Appeal to seek redress.
I therefore, my Lord, would wish to have the transcript provided in verbatim, so that my Lord, we're able to deliberate and internalize them. We are otherwise not dissatisfied. We are otherwise dissatisfied, and we shall not watch when the Constitution is being buried.
A move supported by some legal minds who said the appellate court could overturn the High Court ruling.
Yesterday 10-hour judgment relating to the impeachment of the Deputy President delivered by the three-judge bench was a mockery of justice and the courts as a last line of defense of fundamental rights. The impeachment petition was grounded on many reliefs, and all of them failed save one.
They took issue with the finding that Gachagua's right to a fair hearing had been violated, but falling short of annulling the process.
Punishing the Senate for denying Rigathi's right to a fair hearing, then which means that the consequence decision should be invalidated. Then why are they offering him money?
The ruling, they say, has major political implications for the former DP, if not overturned soon.
The Court of Appeal has been provided with fodder, which is in the said judgment, to make correction of the errors made by the three-judge bench in exercise of their authority.
And senators during their Tuesday afternoon sitting protested the 50 million award to Gachagua. It was slapped for violating his right to a fair hearing. The ruling has sparked varied reactions across the country, with Kenyans giving mixed reactions.
The judiciary has failed us as from yesterday, but I'm happy that the Constitution is not only in one court. The judiciary is structured such that if one level fails, we go to the next. And I'm sure finally there will be a sober judgment to this.
It was crystal clear that Gachagua impeachment yake haikufaa, na kulingana hata na mahakama vile walikuwa wakiendelesha hiyo kesi, kila mtu angeona kabisa ya kwamba aling'atuliwa kimakosa.
After the High Court thwarted his prayers for compensation and unlawful dismissal, the legal battle has now stepped its foot to the appellate court, seeking to overturn the decision, which has left more Kenyans confused on the outcome. Who will blink first? Ruth Mboya reporting from Milimani's Law Court.
Who will blink first? Well, let's move now to another story. President William Ruto has said that Kenya and Norway are exploring new shipping routes aimed at boosting trade, strengthening supply chain resilience, and also improving maritime connectivity between the two nations.
Speaking during engagements with Norwegian Ship Owners Association in Oslo, Norway, President Ruto said the proposed routes will enhance links between the ports of Mombasa and Lamu and Norwegian ports as part of efforts to expand Kenya's maritime and blue economy agenda.
Abdiaziz Hashim is on that story.
President William Ruto says the partnership with Norway is expected to support the expansion of Kenya's shipbuilding capacity while opening up new opportunities for investment, technology transfer and skills development in the maritime sector.
That place called Hormuz, which has become famous all of a sudden. We didn't know about Hormuz until whatever happened in Iran happened. So I think it presents us with a new opportunity to look at what can Mombasa and your ports here, what can they do together?
Ruto said the discussions also focused on cooperation in green shipping, fisheries, ocean sustainability, including plans to establish green trade corridors between Kenya and Norway.
We just developed a fish port in Mombasa, in a place called Shimoni, and we are looking for an operator who is going to work with us. I think there is also opportunity for us to leverage on Kenya's green energy resources to not only find opportunities for green fuels through our geothermal and other green energy sources.
Kenya and Norway both support international cooperation, international law, and international efforts to strengthen maritime security. It's important for us to have a dialogue of how we can protect our shared interests in face of all the challenges.
The head of state also welcomed plans by Norwegian shipping companies like Walsman Ship Management to hire 1,000 Kenyan seafarers by 2030, including 120 by the end of this year. While in Oslo, Norway, President William Ruto and First Lady Mama Rachel Ruto met with His Royal Highness Crown Prince Khan at the Royal Palace. Abdiaziz Hashim for Prime Edition.
On to a story we highlighted for you at the beginning of the broadcast. Tension is high in Mwingi Town in Kitui County after the bodies of 4 men were found buried in shallow graves.
Confirming the incident, Mwingi Central OCPD Anthony Maina urged those with missing male relatives to report to the police as the process of identifying the body begins.
Nancy Okware compiled these reports.
The usual calm in this area was disrupted following the discovery of 4 bodies buried inside shallow graves. Area residents watched in disbelief as forensic teams worked for hours to exhume the bodies.
Tumepata mili 4. Ngapi? Demo kwa social media ati 20 ama ngapi? 4. Number 2, wanaume.
Tulikuwa tunaona tu inzi pale juu kidogo, lakini hatunge suspect kuna watu. So ya pili tumepata chini ya kando ya river, wanachimba kwa ukuta ya kamto, wanaingiza hapo ndani. Tumepata mtu wa pili pale mbele ya hiyo stream, mbele yake tumepata mtu wa 3 pale, then nyuma kidogo katikati tumepata another mtu mwingine hapo. Hao watu wote hakuna mtu ako na nguo na wamekunjwa, wamepangwa, ile mikono inapoletwa hapo karibu, miguu inakunjwa.
As the identification process kicks off, those with missing relatives have been asked to report to police.
Ukienda nyumbani, kwa sababu hatuna kesi hata moja ya mtu ameripotiwa amepotea area hii yetu. Ikiwa wewe uko na relative ameripotiwa amepotea, tafadhali sana kuja piga nini? Report, si ndio?
Area leaders have called for thorough investigations into the incident, with residents being asked to be extra vigilant and report any suspicious activities to authorities.
Tutake kujua wale watu ambao tunaishi na hawa, karakta yao. Ukiona kitu suspicious, sema. Ile mambo ya kusema, ukisema sasa unakuwa mshukiwa, hiyo ilikwisha.
kufanywe proper investigation mpaka tujue hawa watu wametoka wapi.
Nancy Okware, Prime Edition.
From Wingi, we come back to Nairobi Broadcasting House along Harry Thuku Road. It's 13 minutes past the top of the hour. Time for a fast break, but coming up.
Boosting maternity services, and we'll be taking you to Pumwani Maternity Hospital, plus.
And also how much ground has been covered around the access to clean water within the SDG 6 framework. Live in studio, Engineer Daniel Nganga, who will be giving us insights on that area. We're back after a short break.
The bounty hunters were all killed?
Yes.
These bounty hunters were all at the level of Tapana. I really thought at least one of them would be able to kill Cao Yanbing first.
It really is you. Wow, you're ugly.
I'm wanted now? So you're here to capture me?
Jina! Akia watoto wa siku hizi wakiwa wanasumbua. Usikose kuona Gundu KBC Channel 1 every Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. Ujionee hivi vituko vya watoto wa siku hizi wanaosumbua wazazi na mengine mengi. Keep it Gundu. Jina!
Wananiita Gundu, wakita wengine wata.
Welcome back to Prime Edition, our socials.
At KBC Channel 1 on X, Facebook and YouTube. The Principal Secretary for Basic Education, Professor Julius Bitok, has been reassigned to the Ministry of Tourism in the same capacity.
Now, in the changes announced by Head of Public Service Felix Koske, Bitok has swapped positions with John Lekakeni Olotua.
The changes come in the wake of closure of several schools in the country following student protests triggered by the Inferno at Utumishi Girls School that claimed 16 lives.
Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki says that the country is prepared to address any reported case of Ebola virus in the country, cautioning against the politicization of comprehensive preventive measures currently being implemented.
The Deputy President said resources have been allocated to boost the country's defense against the virus, citing enhanced surveillance at all entry points, the establishment of specialized isolation and treatment centers, the acquisition of essential equipment and extensive training for healthcare personnel.
Through the Ministry of Health is making every effort to make sure that we prevent an occurrence of Ebola in our country. We are doing this in collaboration with our regional and international partners, the WHO, the Africa CDC centers, the US CDC centers, friendly governments, and I must commend the Ministry of Health for the leadership they have shown so far. The government offers maximum support to what you're doing to make sure that you protect our people from this very, very dangerous disease.
Now, the Ministries of Education and ICT have flagged off the distribution of digital learning devices to public junior secondary schools in a move aimed at enhancing digital literacy and also supporting the competency-based education curricula.
Speaking during the flagging off of the first consignment to schools in northeastern and coastal regions, the outgoing Basic Education Principal Secretary, Professor Julius Bitok, said the approximately 10,382 interactive smart boards and laptops distributed to junior secondary public schools in northeastern and coastal regions.
Our objective today was really to ensure that this equipment get to our schools, because we are in the process of creating smart classrooms. All these devices will be enabling us to run our project for KMIS and also to deliver content right from Nairobi.
In the world that we are living in today, we have seen the impact of the digital drive globally, and Kenya has been on the forefront, especially in Africa, on this digital drive. Now, we are bringing this into the classroom, noting that Kenya is being seen as a leader in ICT and the digital economy.
Now, a section of religious leaders have intensified calls for dialogue, unity, and community-led interventions in the fight against violent extremism, warning that rising cases of radicalization continue to threaten national cohesion and security.
Speaking at the National Interfaith Convention on Preventing and Countering Violent Extremism in Nairobi, faith leaders said the country must confront the underlying narratives that fuel violence, division, and moral decay in society.
The leaders further noted that violent extremism is no longer confined to specific regions or even communities, but is increasingly manifesting in schools, families, and social spaces, making it a national concern that requires collective action.
Seeing our political leaders like calling for the school academic, the school fraternity to review the curriculum. It is not about the curriculum because it was changed the other day. So it is true that it is about the narratives. And this negative narrative are actually what is decaying our moral society.
Our mandate is to ensure that we address this problem from its roots, looking at the narratives, looking at the causes, and creating strategies that will ensure that this problem is eliminated once and for all.
If we start talking to each other about peace, harmony, it is going to be very good. Kenya is going to remain a very beautiful country, and we talk to also our children that whatever the properties they live in are for everyone, not for them only. There are some generation to come after them.
Senate's County Public Accounts Committee has raised concerns over the capacity of finance officials at Samburu County Executive and is now threatening to recommend administrative action against several officers.
Now, the Watchdog Committee engaged Samburu Governor Lati Lelelit barely 2 months after Speaker Amason Kingi ordered the police to arrest and escort the governor to Parliament Police Station and expressed reservations with the manner the county executive responded to issues raised by the Auditor General.
Eventually, the senators chased away the officials of the Samburu County government and ordered them to reconcile their responses.
Here's that report.
The of Samburu do not think that the governor will take all the bullets and take all the arrows and we shall get away. There will be those arrows that will be aimed at the governor's CEO, but everyone must also take individual responsibility. It is untidy when chief officers of the same entity come to the Senate with different numbers. And I do not want to extend that spectacle for too long.
And I also want to encourage them that sometimes when you appear before this meeting, bring extra details, even those that you've not been asked for, because I noticed there was a gap whereby there's a question that comes up with the senators and the document is not there, but it is there. I know you have it in the counties.
Help us correct one or two things, then it helps the people of Samburu move forward. I want to go back with these people and see what I can do. Some of them have not done very well. and I will have to take some administrative action, whatever that will be.
Now, Pumwani Maternity Hospital has received a major boost in its efforts to reduce maternal and newborn deaths following the donation of life-saving medical equipment worth 26 million shillings by Rotary District 9212 and its partners.
Support, which includes equipment for the labor ward and newborn units, as well as specialized training for healthcare workers, is expected to enhance the quality of care at Kenya's largest maternity hospital.
Under the project, more than 110 pieces of equipment have already been installed, while specialized training have been conducted for healthcare workers through the University of Nairobi's Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology.
The initiative also received significant support from the M-Pesa Foundation, which contributed 13 million shillings towards its implementation.
And I'm delighted that Pumwani Hospital has already started to see the benefits of this ongoing partnership. And we look forward to seeing healthy children, healthy lives, strong citizens who are contributing to Kenya.
But we are looking forward to doing other things with the Nairobi city government and also particularly with Pumwani Maternity Hospital.
Moving on forwards, we are looking forward to ensuring that our theatres are up to standard, to the world standards of WHO, and being able to deliver mothers on time and giving them the quality service.
Nairobi City County, as in general, we deliver like 10% of the mothers that deliver in the entire country. So we provide like 10% of maternal services that are provided in the entire Kenya.
Now, access to clean water and sanitary services remain a challenge to millions of children in arid and semi-arid parts of Kenya.
Now, at the launch of the Day of the African Child that took place in Marsabit County, children pleaded with government to permanently solve the perennial challenge of water shortage and female genital mutilation, or FGM, if you like.
Edward Kabasa compiled this report.
These are the children of Marsabit County. They're marching for access to clean water, sanitation and hygiene, the pillar of this year's celebration in the Day of the African Child.
That the African child be treated in a better way and our habits modeled like a clay.
Mimi mtoto wa Afrika nacheka kwa furaha.
Every song, dance and poem echoed the desire of thousands of their colleagues surviving the unforgiving climate of Marsabit County.
For many children across the world, water comes from the taps and sanitation is given. But for a child in Marsabit, water is a daily struggle, a long walk and sometimes a barrier to education.
The Day of the African Child is launched on the 9th and celebrated on the 16th of June every year.
I take this opportunity to sincerely thank all stakeholders for their support in ensuring children learn in safe environments by providing clean and safe water, sanitary towels, proper sanitation facilities, and creating awareness programs.
Marsabit County is also facing challenges such as female genital mutilation, a vice that continues to threaten basic education.
Nafikiri tunaongoza nchi ya Kenya. Mkisikia 83% ya wasichana wa hii county wanaripotiwa kwamba wanapitia hiyo dhuluma, ni mbaya sana.
Ahead of the celebration in Homa Bay, the government is pledging to promote the welfare of children and bring down barriers that have perennially stacked the odds against Kenya's young generation.
Kwa hiyo nawaomba wazazi, nawaomba watu wote kwamba tuanze kuangazia masuala ya watoto.
The International Day of the African Child, also known as the Day of the African Child, was initiated by the Organization of Africa Unity in 1991 in honor of those who participated in the Soweto Uprising in 1976.
Lights on, volume up. This is where stories come alive. From local drama that hits close to home.
Huyu ni nani? Alinivamia akiwa na vijana wengine wawili. Toka nje. Hii nyumba yako. Yote ni porojo.
To international series everyone's talking about. Stories that pull you in. Characters you won't forget.
Stop complaining and just get out of here. Go now. Go.
We turn up the volume. With music that moves, showcases rising stars and bring the beat straight to your living room. And when it's time to talk, we don't hold back.
How is everything going?
Real conversations, big personalities, the issues, the loves, the moment everyone's debating the next day. Every show, every night. Different voices, one destination. This is television that feels alive and predictable and missable.
Welcome back, Principal Secretary for Science, Research and Innovation, Professor Shaukat Abdul Razak, has called for increased investment in research, innovation and evidence-based policy solutions to improve health and development outcomes among children.
Speaking during the Aga Khan University's Institute for Human Development 10th anniversary celebrations in Nairobi, PS Abdul Razak noted that challenges facing children, including mental health struggles, climate change and food insecurity and technological disruptions, require evidence-based solutions driven by science and innovation.
Joseph Wahungu puts that story in perspective.
Of researchers, policymakers and development partners are attending a two-day conference in Nairobi organized by the Aga Khan University's Institute for Human Development to discuss ways of advancing early childhood development. In his address, Principal Secretary for Science, Research and Innovation, Professor Shaukat Abdul Razak, said recent unrest and tragedies in schools point to a growing need to understand the psychological pressures affecting learners.
We are living in a rapidly changing world characterized by technological disruptions, climate change, demographic shifts, mental health challenges, food insecurity, emerging diseases and growing inequalities, including the conversation that is going on now, the disruptions that we get in our schools.
Institute for Human Development Director Professor Amina Abubakar lauded the use of artificial intelligence, wearable devices and digital platforms identifying developmental risks among children.
We have partnership both in the global north and global south that has allowed us to look at some of really cutting-edge science. Looking at how can we develop wearable EEGs that we can use in the field to measure brain development. How can we work, with AI to come up with early risk indexes for child development.
Sentiments echoed by Frontier County's Development Chief Executive Dr. Idle Farah, who said early childhood development centers in the region have benefited from evidence-based interventions and capacity building programs.
You can do little for much. You do not need billions of US dollars to create an impact in these far-flung areas.
Joseph Wahungu for Prime Edition.
Let's now take you to the counties. Healthcare workers drawn from different parts and departments at Baringo County Referral Hospital marched to the governor's office in Kabarnet, demanding payment of salary arrears and improved welfare.
Well, the workers spoke outside of the governor's office where they decried financial distress owing to the delay in settlement of their dues.
These and more stories in our county news roundup.
The hospital staff accused the county government of failing to pay their salaries for the last 4 months, leaving many unable to meet their basic needs.
The 4th month, we've not been paid. How do they expect us to work?
with an empty stomach. Being a nutritionist, I don't advocate for that. I don't want to work when I'm malnourished.
Elsewhere, Kiambu High Court Judge Justice Bahati Mamuya has taken court proceedings to the site of a long-running land dispute involving more than 300 acres in Kasarini. Mamuya directed that a comprehensive report be prepared on the situation on the ground and ordered government surveyors to clearly demonstrate the exact boundaries of the disputed land.
The court directed that we come on site so that a report be availed on what is basically happening on the ground, and also for the surveyors to demonstrate to the court the exact boundaries of the suit land.
Meanwhile, the Imenti Development Forum has opposed plans to clear part of Imenti Forest in Meru County to pave the way for construction of a state lodge, an airstrip, and a golf course.
I'm in Meru, and I oppose any effort by anybody to demarcate the Imenti Forest, to pave way for a state lodge, to pave way for a golf course, and to pave way for an airstrip. If anybody wants to build these things, we welcome them. We'll have golf courses, we'll have state lodges, and we'll have airstrips. But please, for God's sake, have them put somewhere else, not in the forest.
Religious leaders in Thika are in the meantime urging Kenyans to elect leaders based on merit and not party loyalty.
Saa hii wacha tuchague mtu mwenye sisi wenyewe tunaona anafaa, lakini sio mwenye chama inatuletea. Kwa maana hata wenye chama wanafanyanga ugumu sana kwa watu kuingia kwa chama zao.
And Nanyuki town residents took to the street expressing the rejection of the US-backed Ebola quarantine facility at Laikipia Air Base.
I, in support with the citizens of Laikipia on the proper protocols to be followed for any engagement with the quarantine unit.
Finally, Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization KALRO is set to host its second scientific conference and innovation expo aimed at advancing agricultural transformation and strengthening food security.
We will be able to network, make sure that we connect farmers, innovators, the private sector, policymakers, and researchers, so that they can be able to share what could be the major problem within their various sector.
Reporting for KBC Channel 1 on Counties Roundup, I am Joshua Joel.
Well, welcome to another break here, and coming up is a look at the day's business.
And Alan Auko is on standby. Alan, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you so much for that introduction. Indeed, here is Alan Auko with the day's business, and we begin here where Kenya is moving from a phase of macroeconomic stabilization to one focused on accelerating growth through investments in capital, technology, talent, and infrastructure. This is according to PricewaterhouseCoopers' latest pre-2026-2027 budget review, which highlights a shift in how Kenya finances development projects by relying on public-private partnerships to reduce reliance on borrowing.
Shift comes at a time when Kenya's public finances are facing increasing strain despite improvements in key macroeconomic indicators. Inflation has been within the government's target range, while the shilling has remained relatively stable. However, government revenue collections continue to lag behind ambitious targets, even as expenditure pressures remain high.
When they collect that money, they will have a challenge in where that money goes. Number one, the first order of business will be paying debts. Secondly, they will need to finance recurrent expenditure. Thirdly, they will need to be able to send money to the counties. And fourthly, they will need to finance development.
According to PricewaterhouseCoopers' 2026-2027 pre-budget review, the fiscal framework in Kenya is currently defined by three major challenges. That is, revenue underperformance, a widening fiscal deficit, and persistent implementation gaps in public finance reforms. He says the debt servicing obligations are consuming a substantial share of government resources, limiting the fiscal space available for development spending.
We are not able to meet some of the obligations, and our reform agenda, we've put a lot of reform agendas in the previous budgets, but again, we've not been able to meet those reform targets. So what option is left for government? How will they finance developments? How will they fund their current expenditure?
Kenya is keen on more public-private partnerships. The National Infrastructure Fund and the Sovereign Wealth Fund to mobilize capital for infrastructure and other priority sectors to reduce reliance on borrowing. Trevor Ngendo for Prime Edition.
Elsewhere, Kenyan startups are set to access seed funding and new business partnerships through an innovation program bringing together local and Slovak companies. The initiative is expected to strengthen links between startups, investors and technology partners while creating opportunities for knowledge exchange and business growth.
Access to financing remains one of the biggest challenges facing startups in Kenya, with many innovative businesses struggling to scale. A new open innovation project is seeking to address this by creating partnerships between Kenyan and Slovak companies to jointly develop and commercialize innovative solutions.
Slovakia is also interested in deepening cooperation through trilateral partnerships that combine EU institutions, development financing and private sector investment, including opportunities offered under the Global Gateway Initiative.
The program will offer businesses seed capital, technical expertise, and international networks to accelerate their growth. The initiative will also facilitate knowledge exchange and technology transfer, helping local enterprises strengthen their competitiveness.
An enterprise that establishes in Kenya is not entering one country. It is entering a continent, but notably to note, with Europe secured behind it.
The project could also fast-track expansion of Kenyan startups into regional and international markets while attracting new investment into the country's innovation ecosystem.
We'll also look at readiness of the startup, so that once this partnership kickstarts, then it's easy to make the coalition with the Slovak companies. Yeah.
We're calling upon investors, advisors, mentors, both in the country and outside the country, to support the youth, because we are able to build solutions to solve real-world challenges across different sectors such as climate, agriculture, health and energy.
Ndutamukami for Prime Edition.
Meanwhile, the Central Bank of Kenya has retained its benchmark lending rate at 7.5% following a monetary policy committee meeting held on Tuesday. CBK Governor Dr. Kamau Tuge says the committee opted to maintain the CBK rate to anchor inflation expectations and ensure stability in the foreign exchange market despite emerging global economic shocks. A digital soil library is being set up at the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization, KALRO, to improve agricultural advisory services and support farmers make better decisions on crop production. KALRO Director General Patrick KTM says the research body is exploring partnerships with the private sector to scale the use of artificial intelligence to collect, analyze and store soil data from across the country.
About 60% of the arable land in Kenya is classified as acidic, a condition that significantly reduces crop yields and contributes to poor farm productivity. This has prompted the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization to embark on a nationwide digital soil mapping exercise aimed at reducing the misuse of synthetic fertilizers and addressing soil degradation through more targeted interventions.
Going forward, what we want to do is to be able to infuse the aspects of drones, IoT sensors. We are currently doing the digital soil mapping, so once that data comes on, we'll be able to take that data, do some eye-level analytics.
In a digital database where farmers, researchers and policymakers can access at a click of a button.
We're moving towards creating an AI-enabled call center where all our farmers across the country can be able to call day and night, anytime, and you will be able to interact with the agentic AI and get the advisories that our farmers.
The initiative will target to collect and analyze soil samples from 7 million registered farmers, with its finding expected to, among others, inform the type and quantity of subsidized fertilizer to be procured and distributed. Benson Rioba, reporting for Prime Edition.
AI continues to rule everything. Meanwhile, Kenya should take a proactive approach in conserving marine ecosystems to maximize the potential of the blue economy. Blue Economy and Fisheries Principal Secretary Betsy Njagi says Kenya is keen on expanding leadership in resolving global environmental and ocean challenges.
The blue economy contributes about 2.5% to the Kenyan economy against a potential of about 20%.
The potential for blue economy in Kenya is 350 billion Kenya shillings. Currently, we are at 39 billion Kenya shillings. So you can see there's around 300 billion that is still untapped. The entire trade in the world happens through the maritime sector, over 90%. But there are opportunities to have Kenyan-owned companies into this space.
Blue economy stakeholders believe Kenya could realize additional value from its Indian Ocean resources by securing the marine ecosystems.
For us as a department and as a ministry is to see how this conference will be beneficial to Kenyans. Not only from a global perspective and an African continent, but as Kenyans. What's in it for us? How do we benefit in this?
Njagi says enhanced focus on marine conservation, climate resilience and sustainable blue economy investment could unlock more opportunities.
Is a big issue within the country, within the world. So it is important that governments speak towards how best they can be able to work together and commit also resources towards marine governance or ocean governance in general.
Rampant, illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing, low skills and outdated equipment and technologies are among challenges slowing the blue economy sector.
Thank you so much. That's all we had for you for business today. My name is Alan Auko, but I want to hand you over to a very energetic Bernard Okumu, ready for sports. Bernard?
Thank you, Alan. Indeed, you know, when you're a sportsman, you have to come with all the energies and let's get it going with what's happening with the national team in Southern Africa, where the national women's soccer team, Harambee Starlets, recorded an emphatic 6-0 win against Lesotho during their third-place playoff of the Four Nations Soccer Tournament tie at the Levi Mwanawasa Stadium in Lusaka, Zambia. Kenya lost to Zambia through penalties in the opening match on Saturday, and first Lesotho, who also went down against Zimbabwe in the third place. Against Lesotho, Starlets opened the account through Violet Nanjala, who slotted home at the open after 11 minutes before Triza Ngesha and Fasila Diambo doubled the advantage with a goal apiece in 14th and 27th minutes respectively. Igle Muhwana scored her first goal for Starlets with 2 minutes to the interval to hand Harambee Starlets a 4-0 lead at the break. Kenya protected their lead in the second half as Lesotho's efforts to find a goal went begging. Starlets used the championship to gauge themselves ahead of the Africa Women's Cup of Nations, which will be held in Morocco from the 25th of July to the 16th of August. Kenya is pooled in Pool A alongside hosts Morocco, Algeria and Senegal. The other two goals, of course, were scored by Catherine Khaemba and Igle Muhwana, who had a brace during that particular encounter. And let's glance at the tennis news, where Tennis Kenya has officially unveiled a 7-player squad that will represent the country in the 2026 Davis Cup Africa Group 4 tournament, which will be held from the Wednesday next week to the 20th of this month at the Nairobi Club. Take a look.
The team, which will be captained by veteran coach Rosemary Owino, is comprised of young and experienced players, all stemming from the Junior Tennis Initiative and other ongoing projects. They include, among others, the experienced Ismail Changawa, who will be the player captain, top-rated Kyle Shah, rising junior star Jeff Okuku, who will make his debut alongside Aum Shandarana and Liberty Kibuye, while Raymond Odoir and Zayan Virani complete the list.
It's a young team, and so I'm looking forward to seeing them compete at home. It's very good for some of them. This is their first year. There's no better opportunity than to get an experience to play Davis Cup for your country at home.
The president of Tennis Kenya, Wanjiru Mbugua Karani, threw her weight behind the team while also calling upon Kenyans to show up and support the team.
Our team today, this is a young team.
It is a hungry team. It is a team with big dreams. You'll find we have 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 19, 20-year-olds, and we are very excited that we are now beginning to grow our next generation of Davis Cup players.
The unveiling was also graced by the Vice President of the National Olympic Committee of Kenya, retired Colonel Nashon Randiek, who assured them of their continuous support.
On behalf of National Olympic Committee, we are happy to work with you. When the door is constructed and locked, we will ensure that we offer Madam President the key to open the door so that the players can walk through that door into stardom.
The Davis Cup, which is commonly known as the World Cup of Tennis, will be returning to Kenya for the first time since 2019, with the national team now aiming to capitalize on home advantage and secure promotion to Africa Group 3.
I think it's going to be good for us, and then also there's a little bit pressure, but I think we'll try and do our best, especially the young ones. They're not used to the crowd. I'm used to the crowd a lot of times, so I mean, I think we are ready for this one.
Jimmy Wambua for Prime Edition.
Also, the Kenya Bowling Federation has selected a formidable team to represent the country in the upcoming international events lined up this year. A team of 6 men and 6 women have been training at the Nairobi Lawn Ball Greens, led by, among others, top players Eunice Mboya, Anwar Hamada, and the youthful Esther Oteo, Talia Mboya, and Michael Leting, who was selected during recent national trials. Now they are hoping to make the cut to the upcoming Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, as well as the Africa State Tournament in Lusaka, Zambia, which will act as a qualifier to the World Bowls Championship.
The national team consists of the experienced bowlers and also the newcomers who are the young bowlers. We have, I think, for the national team men, we have at least 1. And for the ladies, we have 2 ladies and another one who's reserved for the team. So they will get their first exposure for the Africa States Tournament, and it will be a very good experience for them because they have somewhere to start, and they will also be among some of the most experienced bowlers.
Out of those we have been practicing as we await the slots will be given by NOC and the government for Commonwealth. This year's games will be singles and pairs. So, and I believe we have practiced enough and we are going to do well and bring medals to the country. We'll be going to the AST in September. The last AST was in Botswana and we did very well. The ladies had an overall position of number 3 and we got the men winning.
And to golf now, where Nyali Golf and Country Club professional Daniel Nduva produced a remarkable back 9 comeback to win the second leg of the 2026 Sunshine Development Tour East Africa Swing, played at Royal Nairobi Golf Club. Nduva, who began the final round tied for second place, carded a level par 72 to finish the tournament on 3 under par 213, securing his maiden Sunshine Development Tour title and the winner's check of 400,000 shillings. The battle for the title remained tight throughout the final round, with 6 players eventually sharing second place on 1 under par 215. The group comprised Kenya's John Lejirma, Rwanda's Celestine Sazuera, David Wahu, Greg Snow, amateur Adel Balala, and Nigeria's Sunday Olapade, who had started the day as the overnight leader. For their performances, the 6 players each earned 114,000 shillings from the prize pass. The championship attracted a strong field of 96 local and international professionals and amateurs who competed for official World Golf Ranking, World Amateur Golf Ranking, and Sunshine Development Tour order of merit points. The third leg will be held at Vet Lab Sports Club from Sunday this week.
Driver is the hardest club we have in the bag, and if you're able to hit that well, it just gives you confidence going forward. So when I make the fairway, I'm able to attack the pin and give myself a good chance for birdie. And I dropped some good birdies on the back nine. I had 5 birdies on the back nine and a bogey, and that kind of got me to the win. Feels good, especially last year I got injured. So coming back of injury, I'm happy winning again. which is dope. So I'd always say is this fighting. You just have to fight, grind, keep yourself in it, focus. The pressure is always going to be there, but I kind of just had to overcome it.
My game is there, and I just need to work on my few aspects of my game. And yeah, overall, I'm happy. It's quite hard.
I'm also very grateful, alhamdulillah. My journey back has only just begun. I've just started playing again about 10 days, 12 days ago. So yeah, practice going slow, inshallah. Coming up to the next few tournaments, maybe I can close out a win. I had a feeling that I was outside the joint second group. Then again, I got lucky with the tree that put me in the bunker. But my bunker game is A1. It's A1. It's one of the best out here.
And Godwin Otieno of Marurui Primary School emerged the overall champion of the 6th edition of East Africa Junior Golf Tournament held at Windsor Golf and Country Club after posting a remarkable combined score of 200 over 2 rounds. And now 5 golf clubs were represented during the 6th edition of the East Africa Junior Golf Ranking Championship, which saw Godwin Otieno being crowned the champion. In the girls under 10-year-olds category, Abigail Ayuma claimed the top honors with a total score of 181 after rounds of 88 and 93. The boys under 18 division saw Silva Shah of Muthaiga Golf Club secure victory with an impressive score of 148. Kenya Air Force Golf Club also made their mark with Victor Noy winning the boys under 14-year-olds category with a score of 194, while John Nyamai finished runner-up in the girls under 14-year-olds division on 195. Elsewhere, the final swimming gala of the 2025-2026 Kiambu County Aquatics Association season is set to take place this weekend with the Minos meet at Porterhouse Junior School in Runda. This comes after the successful staging of the Aberdare Aquatics Development Swimming Gala, which attracted more than 200 swimmers from 11 teams across the region. Now Wood Creek School emerged as the overall winner in the girls category, followed by Crawford International School, who dominated the boys competition.
We won, we lost some, and I'm very happy to be here. My goal for swimming is to get gold medals, 100%.
And let's look at what's making news in as far as the 2026 World Cup is concerned, where Michael Olise scored a hat-trick to lead France's national football team to a 3-1 victory over Northern Ireland in the World Cup warm-up match in Lille. The Bayern Munich winger starred in a star-studded French attack alongside Kylian Mbappe of Real Madrid and Ousmane Dembele of PSG, as well as Desiré Doué, as coach Didier Deschamps evaluated options ahead of the World Cup opener against Senegal on June 16th in New Jersey. William Saliba of Arsenal also returned to the side as France tested a structure close to the expected tournament lineup. Despite Northern Ireland's deep defensive setup, France created sustained pressure, and Olise capitalized twice on rebounds around halftime before completing his hat-trick in the 74th minute with a curling left-footed strike from distance. Patrick Kelly of Barnsley scored a consolation goal for Northern Ireland in the 64th minute. The Loblaws said to face Iraq in Philadelphia and Norway in Foxborough in Group I on June 23rd and June 26th, respectively.
Going, looking to go on. Oh, that is sensational. What a way to bring up your hat-trick.
And that does it for Sports Tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Bernardo Kumu.
In a world where news is ever-changing, staying informed is more important than ever.
Join us every week on News Check, your go-to show for the latest in current affairs, breaking news and in-depth analysis.
A warm welcome to KBC News Check.
From politics to global events, we bring you content that matter to you.
We're not just speaking about the governance and how we want to see it, but want to actually participate.
Get your facts, hear from the experts, and really understand what is happening around you.
We need to change our system first.
You have to do the impossible to make sure the message is home.
Stay ahead, stay informed, stay engaged.
Will these people, everybody agree?
Just listen to me.
Let's give him a chance to clear the air.
Catch News Check every Tuesday and Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Only on KBC Channel 1.
Well, welcome back. Now, the question we're asking tonight is how much ground has been covered within the SDG 6 framework? And with less than 4 years only to go before 2030, the UN data is showing that Kenya's sanitation cover stands at 36%. So the question is, are we close to that target or are we chasing an impossibility? So live in studio joining me now is engineer Daniel Nganga, who's the managing director of MUWASCO, Murang'a Water and Sanitation Company. He's also the chairman emeritus of WASPA, Water Sanitation and Providers Association, and also the male champion for women in Water and Sanitation Association. Karibu, engineer.
Thank you.
And I want us to start with that last one so that I get it out of the way.
Yes.
Just explain that one for me.
Thank you very much. And as you said, my name is Engineer Daniel Nganga, the Managing Director of Murang'a Water Company, and I'm also the Emeritus Chairman of WASPA.
And also a male champion for women in sanitation.
A male champion for women.
What does that mean?
For women in water and sanitation.
In water and sanitation. What does it mean?
It's an organization formed by professional women in this country, basically advocates for good hygiene and access to water, because we know when there is no water in a household, it is the women who suffer most.
Yeah.
I happen to be a male champion. I advocate for equality in the wash space.
Okay.
Currently, out of that and the work we have done with other professionals, we have more than 14 MDs of water companies who are women.
Wow.
In Murang'a Water, we are more than 40% women represented in the company, and in the directorship, more than 50% are women.
Oh, brilliant.
Tom, apart from that, I'm also the governing member for IWA. IWA is International Water Association. I represent Kenya in the global space. We advocate for access to water so that we can achieve SDG number 6, as you said.
As I said.
Yes.
Excellent. So well decorated, and we're delighted to have you. So let's just begin in your backyard, MD. That SDG 6, and I know you'll open it up, for some viewers who may not be familiar with it. We just have 4 years to go.
Yes.
All right? So I want you to start by first grading Murang'a County in terms of access to universal safe water.
I must say that as the county of Murang'a, I think we are ahead in terms of water coverage, because we are basically at 80%. Sanitation is 40%, but we are doing well. And I must say, as Kenya is signatory to SDG number 6. We expect to achieve universal access to water by 2030 and reasonable level of sanitation.
Okay. So if I came to your county today,
yes,
can I drink water directly from the tap?
Our water is very safe. When you come to Murang'a, please don't spend unnecessary cash in buying water from the shop. Our water is very safe. However, I must tell you, as Murang'a Water, because we believe in ensuring that we have universal access on or before 2030, we have a very strong PROPOA policy. PROPOA means we are able to subsidize people who cannot be able to afford a connection so that they can access water. How do we do that? We realized that tariffs alone, the money that you pay when you consume water in the tap, is not enough. So we started a subsidiary company called Fort Beverage Company that produces 2 bloods for water, Fort Aqua and Murang'a Water, that is sold in the shelves. Why did we do that?
Bottled water.
Bottled water.
Okay.
Why did we do that? We realized that, Tom, as you travel, you need to go taking water. We can't connect a tap into your car.
Okay.
And we also know we need to get cash from the rich so that we can subsidize the poor. Yeah.
And just as a follow-up, because we have reports that some of the residents, not all of the residents, some of the residents in Murang'a are still insisting on boiling their water before they give their children. So what does that say? Is there some headroom that you can still, address?
I must say it is not necessarily Murang'a, but when you look at Kenya, many people tend not to believe tap water because of the historical issues that have been there before. But I must say that as a country, we have reformed, and I must thank the leadership of this country and the reforms that has happened within the years that water has been developed in this country.
Okay.
And we started by Water Act 2002, which is now 2016.
Yeah.
And the Constitution 2010, which clearly states that Article 43, water is a right.
A fundamental right.
Fundamental right.
Yeah.
So by that, the country and the counties and the water companies, we are key in ensuring that we achieve that constitutional mandate.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You say that it's a fundamental right.
Yes.
And we do know that there are some residents within, I think, the Murang'a South space who have raised a number of concerns, all right? And some are saying that, water is sourced from Murang'a to Nairobi through the Ndakaine, the one in Thika.
Yes.
And some of their taps, these are reports that are filtering through. Some of their taps are dry, and yet they are seeing Nairobi, fully supplied. How do you handle those kind of concerns that come to your desk?
I must say that when we talk about water, water is a shared function between the two levels of government. The county governments are responsible for management of water services as per the Constitution and Schedule 4. The national government is responsible for setting tariffs and ensuring that the resources are shared adequately. The resources that we have around our catchments, not necessarily in the Abadeas. We have other catchments. They are basically nationally owned, and they are meant to be used equitably within the populations that we have. I agree with you. We may have a few people who don't have water in our county of Murang'a. However, the resources are meant to support all the residents, including Nairobi and the surrounding counties. I think what we should do as professionals is advocate and educate our population so that they can own the infrastructure that we have. I recently saw vandalism of the main trunk pipe that brings water to Nairobi, Kajiado, and Machakos.
How are you dealing with that?
And I think
the element of vandalism.
What we should do is advocate and show our population, our residents, that the resources are theirs and they should manage them
and protect them.
Because government alone will not be able to achieve without the support of the citizens.
I asked that question because WASREB, which is the regulatory authority for that space of water, ranks your utility very highly. So I was particularly keen on seeing how you're going to manage that resentment of those people who feel that Nairobi is being pampered while their water reservoirs are full with water, but they're not getting it. So I was very keen on understanding how you're going to ensure that you calm them down.
Projects that have been done before by government, either to supply water in this city of Nairobi. I think the resident counties, there is projects that are done to ensure that the communities get water.
Okay.
But having said that, resident counties need to get some support. They need to get some leverage or something out of the resources that come from that.
Okay, you talked about vandalism, and my mind went to the fact that Murang'a is it's a vital water tower.
Yes.
And climate change, catchment degradation, these are real threats. So how are you ensuring that you protect and you restore that ecosystem?
What we are doing as Moranga, and we advocated this even in our umbrella association called WASPA, we are very key on matters catchment. Like I think last month we held a bi-monthly meeting for Water Service Providers Association in Moranga, and with the support of partners, I think Equity Bank, we were able to donate more than 10,000 fruit seedlings to ensure that in our public primary schools, so that we can not only restore our catchment, but also address the issue of food security.
Okay.
When our poor students in public primary schools go to school, they will one day find fruits in their school, so that they can use it as a supplement. And we are not only doing that for Moranga, we are doing that for the whole country. The other thing that I think we are doing, and especially we have an elaborate program in Moranga, we are trying to reduce the emission of gases, the methane that comes from the sewage treatment works. What are we doing? We have we are planning a project to harness biogas from our sewage treatment works. We remove hydrogen sulfide, which is responsible for smell, and can that gas and use it within our population. Studies have shown that that gas will be cheaper than LPG gas
in the long run,
by 50%.
By 50%, and that's huge.
Yes.
But talk to me about non-revenue water. I mean, because that's an area I think that most water service providers are grappling with. The loss because of the ecosystem, the infrastructure. How are you mitigating that?
As a country, we are losing more than 43%, which translates to about 12.3 billion loss.
Why is
Kenya
it
shillings?
Why is it so huge like that?
Per annum. I must say, as a country, we have improved, because it was more than that. In the last decade, it was more than 60%. Now we are about 42%. The problem, it may be historical. One, there is dilapidated infrastructure, and basically some of the pipes might have in our cities might have been done a long time ago.
Yeah, so they are metal,
and there are leaks that we can't see on the surface.
Okay.
There are also cartels within our informal settlements that draw water illegally.
But those cartels are citizens.
Yes.
And there are concerns from certain quarters that perhaps they are working with some of your members of staff who have the technical capacity to do what we generally refer to as bypasses and so on and so forth.
What are we doing? We are turning our utilities into smart utilities. When, for example, in Moranga, I'm able through a smartphone, a line manager is able to tell if there is a big leak at a bigger pipeline, and he gets an alert from the phone, and we are able to address in time.
So you are leveraging technology.
We are leveraging technology.
So as we come towards the close of this program, because you talk about technology, and I know there's an upcoming conference that's going to speak to that aspect. What should we expect from that conference that is coming up? And when is it? What are the thematic areas, etc., as you wind down?
We are planning a non-revenue water conference that will be in Naivasha between the 30th of June and 3rd of July. The host county is Nakuru County, and the theme is reduction of non-revenue water by leveraging technology and innovation. Why is this conference important? We are focusing on three key stakeholders. One, the development partners. It's important they support programs that can reduce non-revenue water so that the water companies can be efficient. Two, we are also looking at the water service providers themselves. We are not at the same level. There are those who are at a higher level than others, and we need to benchmark so that we can leverage on the technology that is available.
Okay, I want to thank you so much, Engineer Daniel Nganga, Managing Director, Muasco, for finding time to come and talk to us. And of course, you've talked about that upcoming conference that's going to take place on the 30th of June, running all the way to the 3rd of July, and the thematic area, NRW, leveraging technology and innovation. So if you have time, cross over to that conference. Well, we're taking a short break. When we come back, we will be getting sporty. Over to you, Muchuma.
Yes, I was just about to tell you we are supposed to come to a close of the bulletin, and
excellent.
I was going through some of the comments on the social media platforms in reactions to quite a number of stories that we have carried, and also the interview that we've conducted. Most of them are political. I'll just give acknowledgements. Wanjiru Karaoke, watching from Kisii. Dennis Otuori, watching from Nairobi. Justus Mutonu, watching from Nairobi as well. Godwin Nyakundi, you're watching from Eldoret. And more and more and more. But most of them are political, and I would love to leave it at...
Leave it there. Yeah. I think my conversation with MD went too deep that it slipped my mind that we had actually done sports. So we want to thank you so much for making time to watch Prime Edition. We've got to go now.
My name is Muchuma Odim. Our sign language expert tonight is Caroline Jaroge.
And I'm Mboya. You know what? Until next week, on Monday, Tuesday, same channel, same time. See you from all of us. Good night, and God bless you.
God bless you.
The wait is over. KBC Iko Huduma Center. Starting with Nairobi, kupata huduma za KBC imekuwa rahisi. From digital guidance and signet services to booking of commercial adverts and documentaries. Visit our dedicated desks at Huduma Center GPO, Times Square, Makadara, Kibera, or Eastleigh. Tunakungoja hapo. Whether it's a casual announcement or a specialized media solution for your business, we are here to serve you. KBC at Huduma Centers, moving closer to you. Your station, your service.
Ni kweli. Lakini kwa nini? Kwa nini?
Haujaelewa. Mwenye macho alimtazama.
Lakini mimi nakwambia tazama tena.
Kwa sababu nimekuwa kipofu kama popo ama mwenye kilipungani kama...
Hujanielewa.
Mbona wamfuatafuata binti yangu kila mahali?
Sio hivyo mama, ni...
wacha kuni mama hapa. Hebu niambie nia yako.
Tumaini, umenunua ushanga kunihada ama kuniringia?
Mbona uniuliza hivyo?